the April 18th to May 23rd review quality looks like, and it compares with the previous month, the March 14th to April 18th review quality. As you can see, our review quality is dropping. I would ideally like to get 75% of our reviews as 5-star reviews. That means 75% of our guests say we are 5 stars, and that would bring our overall rating to 4.5, okay? That was my standard when I was working at Airbnb to manage Bali, and I don't want that standard to be any less now that we're at Bukit Vista. Okay, so the review quality, not so good. All right, next piece of not so good news. So these are some kind of the reviews that I just took a look at and we saw inside our guest feedback. So there's some people who've been bumped out of rooms that they had already been booked, and disappointments about cleanliness and the freshness of some of our properties, okay? Now, this is not a particular problem with one or an individual group of people. This is a problem for the entire company, and that's why I mentioned it at all hands. There's something that we can all do to try to mitigate this and make this better, to inspire delight. I'm simply raising awareness that these are currently, just currently, some of our weaknesses. I don't want these to be weaknesses forever, and if we all work together, I think we can get through it. Let's go into that part. How are we going to go work together in order to get less of this showing up? Well, this is our vision. We're entering a BV5 period because we're experiencing more prosperity, travel's opening up. Everyone knows that we're doing better as a company overall financially. So we want to be trusted to inspire delight. And the previous things that I just showed you do not really actually engender too much trust. So that is our vision. That's where we're going to go. And we're going to get there by doing this. Okay, let's focus right now all our attention on what is the biggest problem. What is the biggest problem happening inside Bukit Vista? Well, I've been here for a while, and I've noticed a few things happen. That it seems to me that time and resource management is one of our biggest problems. It happens from the very beginning when we just feel very overwhelmed, to even when we add more members to a team, and yet more people to a team doesn't necessarily increase the capacity, the production quality, or the efficiency of a particular team. So why is that? Well, I believe the root cause is that a lot of us are just not really certain how to manage our times. A lot of us are not certain how to manage other people's times. Perhaps we're not forceful enough, or perhaps we just don't know how to do it ourselves very well. And myself is somewhat included in that. So what is our solution to approach this problem? This is a vision that I'd like to share with everyone to hopefully address this very, very urgent and also serious issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this and we're going to try to drill it through many different levels. We're going to come up with better tools, better strategy, better policy, and of course we need team adoption for this new plan. So what exactly is this new plan? Well, it's already beginning in part of the group that Bayou is leading. So what we call this now is a strategic property prioritization. Now this is just happening in the partner squad, but what does it actually mean? And I'll go through this flow with you guys carefully. We have over 150, I think 170 partners, plus new ones coming in all the time. There's no way that we can manage all our partners all the time doing what we do. So where do we need to begin? We need to begin with how much time every week do we actually have? How much of that time do we want to prioritize for high quality partnerships? How much of that time do we want to actually spend on low quality partnerships? See, that way we control our time, and our time doesn't control us. Our inboxes don't control us. We become proactive rather than reactive. So what would that actually look like? It starts with a decision. It starts with a decision on which particular properties are we actually going to prioritize and going to give dedicated time every day to work on prioritizing and optimizing their performance. It then results in a commitment every day to work through that list of properties, review those properties, make sure that those properties are given their fair share of treatment. Low quality partnerships, partnerships that do not add, are dishonest, take away calendar space, or just very, very difficult to manage because of personal issues with owners, those we will put on the low priority list, and we will review those less frequently. Thereby, we will not lose time and our strategy on wasted low priority properties, okay? So this is just a simple example of something that we can apply later to the entire company, but we will start in the partnership squad with this particular idea of strategic property prioritization. Now, what does this actually mean in terms of how each individual working on the partner squad needs to change their behavior? Well, we're going to have to start adopting synchronized work calendars. This means this. We spend a lot of time in meetings, coordinating information, doing this and that, but oftentimes we can actually just choose a time to work together. Now, it doesn't mean we don't do anything else, it just means that we prioritize time, such that we are available through channels like Discord or Slack, such that we remain available for our colleagues' requests and their concerns. I think by doing this and making sure that our calendars are synchronized so that we can work together, it will essentially be like being in the same office again, but still have a virtual and a remote presence. And this will simplify and improve and also enhance the quality of our time and resource management. This should result in no more complaints about burnout. It should result in also faster work getting done, and it should result in generally more sense of camaraderie and a sense of working on the same mission together with your team. Okay? All right. So this is a vision, which still is going to take everybody's effort here to actually make it work and everybody's cooperation to make it work. We are transitioning into a Bukit Vista 5. So I am asking everybody to be agile, I'm asking everybody to be flexible, and allow this transition to happen with full cooperation, please, okay? It depends on everybody here for these transitions to happen, but we're making progress. Okay, so the bad news and the plan is out on the table. These are some general things that we'd like to do, okay? We're gonna try to reduce the number of meetings. Meetings are management tools to inspect the work that people are doing. But if we all are working together, then that should actually make the context of what everyone's doing more clear, and we don't need to frequently meet to actually, or plan and report. Just being inside shared work schedules and shared sync times should actually reduce the necessity for meetings and let people spend more time working and less time reporting about their work. All right, so that's one of the bigger sort of directions and visions that I'd like to bring the company with me, bring us all together. But let's talk about some policies too. So we have a policy today that new employees will work on guest squads for the first 3 weeks. This is, of course, to address the real critical talent low density that we have on the guest squad right now. But it's also to address this idea of not really being in touch with the fundamental business operations of what Bukit Vista does. At the end of the day, what Bukit Vista does is we host, we delight, and we inspire guests. So anybody who doesn't work directly on that process starts getting maybe different ideas or a little bit confused about what the context of their core work should be addressing. All work, whether it's product, business intelligence, PR, business development, this needs to somehow connect back to the guest experience. And for a long time, I think we've been actually working without really understanding how our guests are feeling or how our guests are actually interacting. So now's the time to change that so that everybody understands first what exactly is important in the guest experience. And that will be done by giving everybody a chance to gain that experience through working in the guest squad. The second policy, and this is already something that we've been implementing, is this is what I would call the risk-free guest inspection. This has been happening for quite a while. A lot of our inquiries right now are directed about, can I inspect the property? Can I look at the property before I book? So we've developed a book and look solution. This is a quick thing where somebody can book the property a few months in advance for a single day, and they can look at the property through an inspection. If they're not happy with it, they can cancel and get a full refund. Call that the book and look particular policy. But it's really unnecessary because all the bookings that we take right now on Airbnb are covered by AirCover, which is Airbnb's protection program for guest delight. This means that every booking that is canceled due to a listing inaccuracy, to host failing to be able to check somebody in, is protected by Airbnb's insurance, and the guest gets a full refund anyway. So I'm announcing this so that everyone understands that essentially we don't need to have any issues anymore with high-value inquiries where guests want to inspect but cannot because we don't know what to do. This is now our new policy for how to deal with inspections, the book and look, and also using Airbnb AirCover. Okay, let's go on and talk a little bit about some tools and processes. I recently did some reservation work myself, and I was very happy that Tendi, Nadine, and Gray, and Chandra also stepped on my toes and actually allowed me to discover a tool that I should have been know that was already there. I'm very sorry. I started using a spoon instead of using the excavator, and I discovered the shift handover paper. So of course, this tool has been here for a very long time, but it really, really helps reduce the amount of booking inaccuracies and reduce the amount of overbookings and collective stress that the company will feel when guests are not delighted, partners are not delighted, and these complaints come in and make us not delighted. So thank you very much for showing me how to use this tool. I want to just let everyone in the company know that this tool is a great tool and we should use it. All right. Another thing I'd like to actually make aware is that Gunny and Bella are in Jogja and they're starting an open house. So the open house is one of our programs to welcome in new employees to Bukit Vista to kind of experience what it's like working inside of a startup that's basically in the hospitality industry. So they're opening up the space this week to allow for some of our UGM friends and interns that have been to some of our discussions to come in and just kind of check things out. And I think this is a great way of expressing hospitality. It's also a great way for new employees to potentially understand and also get a closer look at what our day-to-day work is. I hope the water dispenser of Gunny is ready, because that's one of our primary hospitality tools, right? To receive guests, and we will be able to have a successful open house. Okay. All right. Next update. So this is really great news, everyone. We are already over 160,000 in monthly revenues. I believe we're actually closer to 170,000 in revenue. So we're getting much, much closer to our market share. So congratulations to the entire team for pulling together and bringing us up ahead. This, by the way, is the highest amount of revenue we've ever earned in the past 2 years. And it's a really good sign that Bukit Vista is back on track again and ready to rock. So as a result, new announcement. I want to be able to share some of this new wealth and some of this new proceeds from our higher revenues with the rest of the team that is going to be here for the peak season. Peak season is when we need the most hands on deck. It's going to be a lot of hard work. There's going to be probably, I anticipate, some not so good days up ahead where we will find new problems, and we're going to have to work really together in tools, policy, and just team organization to get through them. So this is why I'm prepared to offer a new category of bonuses. I call them the 2022 peak season bonuses, and these will be awarded at the end of peak season on September 5th. This is usually when peak season comes down, and I'll give you guys details about how you can earn extra bonuses over peak season by June 5th at the end of this month. Okay. All right. A little bit more. Let's talk about some of our strengths. So I'll zoom out a little here, and I'll show you what we actually have as a company. So what I'd like to show you guys is just some real life examples of things that I think are Bukit Vista strengths. Let me move this aside. Okay, so I'm sure everybody knows that we have a website, bukitvista.com, and on this website we have various functions. We have things where guests can book, potential partners can understand more about our villa management. But one of the things that everybody should understand is this: what is the impact of this particular website? The impact of the website is actually pretty substantial, I would say. On a given month of between April 22nd and May 22nd, basically 30 days, we get about 32,000 page views, of which 12,000 are unique page views. So this is a significant quantity, hopefully, of website traffic, and that is something that pushes our brand ahead. I think I might have shown everyone this last week, but just in case anyone forgot, we do have very vast and large Airbnb profiles, some of the largest Airbnb profiles in the world, such as Rafik's. He's got over 4,654 reviews. This is fantastic. Rafik is now an alumni of Bukit Vista, but also Cynthia, who is also another one of our alumni with 2,500 reviews on her Airbnb profile. These are all very strong profiles and strong brands that get a disproportionate number of traffic and attention on Airbnb. What else do we have? Well, let's not forget about our teams and our professional network, right? We have a long list of very successful employees and interns that have done amazing work here. I don't think we should forget about them. I don't think we should forget about some of their achievements. If you need a quick reminder, just go on the Bukit Vista Hall of Fame and explore some of their achievements and the things that they've done that actually have pushed innovation forward for all of us here. Most of you who are experiencing Bukit Vista is because somebody here on this list and somebody here in this company has actually designed an experience, they've designed a tool, they've designed a process, they've made something that is actually driving the way that you experience your work life here at Bukit Vista today. So let's not forget about this particular strong strength in our network. In addition to that, I just want to remind everybody that we have a really large professional network globally too. We have been speaking through BVE talks with industry leaders like Quincy, who is the founder of Free Code Camp. Many of Indonesia's best programmers, I think, have been educated through his YouTube platform. There's Ray Ma, who's actually a leader, a personal friend of ours, from 500 Startups as well. She's a person who's given billions of dollars to startups to actually fund and get them to grow. These are all part of our professional network. I think as part of Bukit Vista, just remind yourself that you are part of this strong professional network, and you can access it too as well and refresh it. I think I talked about this handover paper. Everyone has seen that already. Just kind of giving some insights about that. And another tool that I want to actually celebrate. I think Nadia mentioned earlier that we rebranded this tool now. This used to be called Redash. It is now called Data Vista. Data Vista is essentially our analytics tool. It shows everybody at the company who wants access to it can get it. This will allow you to see what is going on across the entire company, how much money we're making every month, what is our weekly sales, what is our booking pace, cancellation. These are really good facts to have and to know in order to understand, does the company you work for actually matter? Are we making progress? Transparency. Find what you can through the data, report it, get insights in it, and believe in inspired delight. Okay, one more thing I want to demonstrate to everybody. This is something I found just earlier this week when I was doing a webinar at UVM. This is actually pretty surprising. Everyone who doesn't know what this tool is, this is Google Trends. And on Google Trends, you can see the relative impact of different travel words. So let me do a demonstration here. So let's say we search for Bali travel today. Bali travel today, we can see what the traffic of that looks like. But let's compare it to certain other terms, right? Let's look for Paris travel, and let's also look for, let's say, New York travel, okay? All right, so you would imagine Paris and New York probably would actually have a larger audience than Bali. And that is proven right now by looking at, let's say, the United States traffic. But if we actually look at worldwide traffic over the past 12 months, I'm sure you guys can read this graph, but just in case, sometime around February, Bali travel started becoming more searched and more important on Google than Paris travel or New York travel, okay? So there's something really interesting about that in terms of the way that Indonesia now is the focus of global travel, and it exceeds New York and also Paris, which are traditionally one of the two largest travel markets. What does that mean? It means it's your time to shine. It means that there's a new generation of people who want to come and live and work and travel to Bali and to other parts of Indonesia as well. So I think this is pretty exciting news. And yeah, that's that. Okay, let me bring us back to the company strategy. Sorry, it's taking a little bit longer, but I'm almost done here. So I'll give the floor back to everyone again. Let's see, what do we need to do? All right, so the questions again, of course, is, can we actually build this world-class brand? And I think we can. Together as a company, when our guests feel inspired and delighted, our partners feel inspired and delighted, and we feel inspired and delighted, that we have succeeded in building the vision of Bukit Vista to make a reality. Inspired delight everywhere, every time, everyone. Okay, let's hand it back over to William. And let's, maybe Vinny's here now. He can continue.
All right, thank you, Mr. James, for letting us catch up with the current problems and solutions and what your vision of future Bukit Vista is going to be. Well, now we're going to move on to our next section, which is going to be, wait, is the screen shared yet? Okay, we're going to move on to our weekly mission inspiration session. Weekly mission inspiration session, starting from our guest team. Here's Kak Candy Bukit Vista. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Just call Tandy. Okay, good morning, everyone. So happy to start this this week with a lot of inspiration. The first from the guest side, got guest referral from our long stay guest. Yeah, this guest I met when the check-in time, and then they're very communicative and kind. They stay with their kids as well in the house, and then yes, they refer their friends to Bukit Vista for final property. Okay, that's it. Thank you. And then yeah.
All right, you can move on with the next.
Okay, for the partnership, yeah. Okay, the first is this is a partner referral from the Rumah Noni, one of our property in Jogja. Last week, he want to what's called Bukit Vista manage the his property on Jogja as well, and then maybe who want controlling the skill can open the picture and the attachment. Yeah, that's it. Yes, and then I think we are get more stronger brand in Jogja with our loyal partner. I think that's good as well. And then for the second one, last week community team and BD team elaborate for the partner enforcement and then quality control in Uluwatu. Yeah, last week me and Wayana go to some property in Uluwatu for the enforcement and then also quality control. This is what's called good transforming. I expect that Degong and Kubunyayang have a low speed of the Wi-Fi and then also what's called give some recommendation to improve their property. And then yeah, finally they show me the seriously to improve their property, and then I arrange with the Wi-Fi provider to upgrade the Wi-Fi speed, and then they are now already processing to upgrade the speed of the Wi-Fi, and then Kubunyanya also install the tools for the what's called upgrade for the smart TV. Okay, then the next one, this is the for the partner enforcement and Bigo. Yeah, last week we train more partner for using the Bigo, and then for the ask for the allotment in the Pondok Juli, and then the owner will give more room if we can show our best performance like occupancy, revenue, communication, and innovation. Okay, and then the next one, this is from Giselle. Last week we conduct the 1-hour review with the Namaskara. Yeah, Ibu Lulu is communicative owner, and then she also give referral for the what's called another villa in Namaskara in Karma, and then she also give ideas for the marketing strategy like free massage in Karma if the guests share their experience on Instagram. With the hashtag Villa Namaskara and stay with Bukit Vista, and then tag Bukit Vista on Instagram. Yes, yeah, maybe for the one that controlling the screen, just open the attachment, yeah. What's called the it happened, yeah. Okay, documentation. And then for the next one, the last one is the last week community team roll out the partner award for the partner that using the guideline and project. Yes, I meet with the club owner as a position temp out of the total of our property, and then the owner is proud to get that. And then, but when I asking for the video testimonial, he said not ready yet because he just finished the work and then with the clothes and everything. So he not what's called want to he want to be more ready like with the nice word and then also nice what's called t-shirt like that. So he will send the video testimonial this week to me. Since this video will use to inspire other partner and show to other partners, so he want more be ready like that. Okay, I think that's it for the partnership transformation last week. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kak Tendi, for updating us with our weekly inspiration. Now we're gonna move on to Kak Shelin, actually. Kak Shelin, the floor is yours.
Okay, good morning everyone. In this case, so this was actually delivered by Mr. Jennifer, but I need to also like put this at the weekly inspiration in this case. So this is basically the innovation. So Jogja-based open house. So this was previously initiated by Mr. Jing, like after we had our event with the tourism students at Sekolah Vokasi event the previous week. So I believe this would be like our first time like having this open house event after the especially after the pandemic in this case. So this is actually like one of the innovations that we have made, like especially in university relations itself. So, yeah, that will be all. Thank you, and back to you. Yeah.
All right, now last but not least, we have updates from the PD team. I would like to call Kak Nadia to please talk about this inspiration.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So this is from Product Development regarding our newly featured launch. So this actually coming from the team, previously community team and also the HR team, of them having hard time for finding like specific information for a specific property, like the one-on-one session, property inspection, or like this kind of the one that included by Gray, like photo or video tour of each property. So we have these property notes basically where the team can create new or update in delete notes, but also utilizing the tag feature, attaching images, videos, and also files like PDF. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Kak Nadia. Now we're gonna move on to our company team target and achievements. I would maybe like to invite Kak Ara or Kak Bayu to please take up the floor.
Okay, thank you, William. Okay, good morning, everyone. So as stated, monthly theme is going to be quality first, and today I'm going to deploy about what are the inspection has been done in terms of our monthly theme. So a couple of things that we find out and catch during these days, we break down into a couple of quality rates, which is bad, good, and improve, not optimals, for the inspection that has been done in the entire company. I'd like to everyone mention specifically, everyone please do pay attention, but specifically also the leader mentions in the inspection here. Feel free to engage and please put up your comment because I am not gonna read the actionable. I hope the leader will be aware, so I'm going to deliver the insights. So first that we find about technology and data quality. This actually not has been really in spotlight in terms of first properties have a lot of reviews on Airbnb but not reflected in our database, and bookings reflected incorrectly for cases like cancellations and alterations. Later on, I will need Nadia to look up on the actionable, and please do engage if you have required further discussions or clarification. Second, it's to me actually about employee squad, specifically in awareness, hiring quality. So to report to everyone that we currently have 193 candidates, but 88 out of that is a dropout. We set a wrong expectations mostly to these candidates, so when they get more information, they drop out. This also mostly impacted to the not correctly targeted for the whale hunting itself. And from 36 that we decided to give trials, only 5 that we ended up give the offer. So you see the conversions exactly is not so good either. CV screening, first interview, and online evaluations cannot detect 86% of candidates that wouldn't pass trials. So this means that the process hasn't been very effective. Okay, actionable is also attached there. Everyone others here that have any other advice and insights can also please comment on this report. And the next one is over to Gani, specifically on the awareness. So this is about listing performance quality. This is one of the inspection that is going well and good. Looking at the high instant book rate for May in month revenue and June starting revenue. So yeah, you guys can see how it's actually been working. The performance is pretty well. Actually, but we still have some suggestions to actually improve on the actionable. So can you please have a look at it later on. So yeah, for this one, I'd like to recognize well done to the awareness team, especially on the guest side. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is over to Wayana. On partnerships transformations, this is well improved about partnerships experience quality. So partners are now regularly checked for their policy implementations, especially about availability and then the adoptions of the Vigo itself. And all partners in low quality list has been processed and categorized as follows the terms: termination, partnerships, and compromise. Second batch is currently being examined by Wayana. We still do have actionable. And well done for the help all this time to improve this partnership experience quality. Okay, and then another part on the employee squad again about employee experience quality. It has not been reaching the optimal performance as expected in terms of first, employee calendars are filled with meetings as also Mr. Jing report earlier, we want to reduce the meetings, right? And small time available to do the actual work, especially for roles that needs focused work itself. Okay, and then the next one, this is over to me and Bayu, specifically about guest transformation, employee squad, and guest advocacy related. Related about guest experience quality, that is, we label this as bad because all factors are declining. This also been brought up by Mr. Jim on the earlier presentations before, related to accuracy, check-in, cleanliness, communications, location. Starting from May, you can see the graph is actually declining. Our SLA is 75%, 5-star review in the last 30 days, and 4.5 overall 5-star review quality. Yeah, this is also on the transformation side. Maybe can be also discussed, and please be engaged on the actionable itself. And then the last part about hosting quality, this is specifically also Tendi, because Tendi is going to be inspect and lead the property manager upcoming team later on. That is still considered as bad, as hosting a guest is not easy. Basic information like check-in instruction is not readily available, and finding other information like pet-friendly or Wi-Fi needs to be done on Slack. So then you please check out the actionables being offered, and everyone mentioned previously, please be engaged on the reports. On the target side, as stated, that congratulations to everyone, as I already announced on the announcement and Slack, that we actually achieved the target being set in the early beginning of the month. But we actually have a better target, awesome target for May, which is 180,000. And this also, we attach the June starting revenue target, just as a report that we might start on the 85,000, but the awesome target that we have is going to be 95,000. Max cancellation rate that we set target for the first year is going to be 19% of cancellation maximum, but we try to stretch it better into 15%. Okay, so what are the opportunity that we have currently? Looking at the trends on bookings that we have, increasing trend of bookings and fill rate can be done. And then the current activities and the current updates on more countries are opening their flight to Bali. So this is also a good sign that we can focus on. And also, as being mentioned on the 23rd of May, PPKM period is actually already ended. And Mr. President has lifted mask compulsory in outdoor spaces. This is also a good sign that there is a high chance also we will see high season in the next few months. Okay, so the achievement, I think, okay, for this, wait, I think I attached something here. Okay, so far we're progressing good, and the weekly target is also achieved. You guys can see on the revenue target and fill rate in here. And the next month starting revenue, as I also delivered the target previously about the okay and awesome. Currently, we already reached on the June for 79,000 already. So meaning to say we're still trying to achieve the target, okay target on June, which is 85,000 as mentioned. But I'm pretty optimistic. Maybe we can actually achieve it by the end of May for June revenue starting revenue. Okay, so the last part, additional announcement. I think this already also mentioned by Mr. Jing about the synchronized work calendars. I just would like to maybe remind again after one, in order to have better synchronous communication internally, we break down the operational hours into this sequence. So maybe later on the leaders would like to pay attention on the timings that has been set in here. Check out your squad meetings to be adjusted based on these timings. And also check up on each of your members. Jadi saling ngecek aja one another. Are they actually following the timings that has been set in here? Are they actually available in squad Discord? And is actually field synchronous meetings has been done in the timing set? Also about project and stand-up should be done by 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Wita time. Okay, so that's pretty much the update from my side. Back to you, William.
All right, thank you, Kara. And now we're gonna move on to the
William, I have one more thing I forgot to put in the list. Actually, can you go back? There's one more very important thing that we forgot. So I just forgot in the last one. So this is the problem-solving quality. I I still categorize it as bad because I think from the last week update, we still have the problem exists. So it doesn't matter how many inspection that we put here and the actionable that we put here. If we don't follow up, then it will never get done. Basically, every week we will have this feedback, right? So this is very important, especially for the leaders. In this case, squad leads and chapter leads, to make sure that this problem are getting fixed, because this is your problem as seen by an external person, right? So next week, probably what we are going to do is we are going to inspect how you react to this feedback. So basically, this feedback is created only from looking from the indicators that I can see. I'm not doing the work, right? But something that external or outsider person can see. This is something that you must do better. So you might not see this, but the important thing is that we now have the actionable. The important thing is we need to follow up. So the follow up is the keyword here, to make sure that this is not repeated again next week. Basically. So that is the last quality check that I do. So back to William.
All right, thank you, Kak Bayu, for the additional information. Now we'll move on to the promotion and new employee section. I would like to invite Kak Ara or Kak Shelin to please take on the floor.
Oh, okay. I'll just deliver this quickly. Okay. Sadly, Bella is actually taking her day off today, but I've already informed her of the results as well. So to inform everyone for this promotion part. So Bella was previously on a 3 months probation, right, for her current role as a revenue management. So yeah, after we evaluated her performance the past months, we have decided that basically she passed her probation period in this case. So yeah, feel free to select her directly since she's not here to congratulate her for the role basically and for her to pass her probation. That's all from my side, William. Thank you and back to you.
All right, thank you, Kak Shelin. And now we'll move on to the squad main achievements. We have achievements from the partnership funnel team.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, William. So these are some of the achievements from the partnership funnel squad. So we have 2 newly launched property. Those are Sekar Penida Cottage and also Villa Arinda Sanur. So yes, congrats to the partnership and especially to the BD team for onboarding these properties. Back to you, William. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kak Nadine. Now we move on to the guest funnel squad. We have Kak Gunung.
Okay, for the guest funnel squad, primary achievement first is we achieved $16,000 US. It means that 129.5% of weekly SLA of instant booking. So it is very good news and congratulations to awareness team. And the secondary achievement is we able to classify causes of chaotic operations such as overbooking case and distributed to squad and chapter related to solve its problems and create innovation. Back to you, William.
All right, thank you, Kak Gunung.
Oh, William, could we take a quick look at some of the new properties? I think that's pretty important. Yeah, new properties should not be sort of ignored. Okay, thank you. All right, this is the. Does anybody want to introduce Nadine? Which property is this one?
I can do that.
Oh, okay. All right, babe, go for it.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. This one is a new property in Penida. Get referral from Bukit Sunrise actually. So they family related. So they have basically 6 slots, but they only build 2 at the moment. While to see how things going. This is 2 unit bedroom facing to the sunrise. It's very beautiful. I stayed there. I taste the product basically when I came to Penida. And experience the comfortableness and the room but the picture can be done better. I already contact Koi, is to our bed. But it's very nice place actually, very comfortable and close to the ocean and close to the temple as well.
And the second one?
The second one is, of course, we get referral from existing partners, so they have make the new villa again in Sanur. So, and this is the 2-bedroom villa with kitchen and with a studio as well, and just actually across from his house. So, the villa it's brand new. They took like what, like 2 years almost to build this place, slowly, but finally finished. So yeah, that's owned by Pak Indra, is also Arindra and Jimbaran. We manage their properties. So they trust us to manage the second properties. Yep, that from me. Back to you guys. Back to William.
Okay, thank you, Kawayana, for updating us with the new properties. Now we would like to move on to our core value recognition section. The first one, we have Kak Bella as our nominator. I would like to invite Kak Bella to please take on the floor. Oh, Kak Bella is off. Yeah, maybe I can take over. So Kak Bella nominated Kak Lilis, Kak Jessica, and Kak Cinta for the core values of helping others to help themselves, inspire delight, and details matter. It is nominated because Kak Bella thinks that they are very hardworking and they are able to cover each other, cover deficiencies, and share abilities. And now we're gonna move on to Kak Bayu for nominating Kak Tendi and Kak Wayana for the core values, be the hero and inspire delight. Kak Bayu,
Okay,
the
thank you,
floor.
William. So this is to Tendi and Wayana. Basically, Tendi and Wayana actually working in the background. We don't know that they are actually working, but well, because we cannot see them reporting online every time. But basically, they have been approaching partners and staff basically to train and then to use the BVGO and to adopt our hospitality practices. So their work result is actually will be benefiting a lot of people, like self check-in, for example, working to improve hospitality in the property. And the second one is actually Tendi. Tendi is very cheerful person. No matter what happened, he will be very cheerful and easy to approach. So I want to recognize them both for that.
All right, thank you, Kak Bayu. And congrats to Kak Tendi and Kak Wayana for the recognition. Well, I guess because it's not the second week, we don't have updates on the employee experience. Now we're gonna move on to the personal updates. Please kindly only read your biggest personal growth and keep it short because we're running short of on time. I would like to invite Mr. Jane to.
Yep. Okay. I sleep too much. I need to sleep less. Done.
Okay, that's okay. We're gonna move on to Kak Gunung.
Okay, feel good to maintain the Jogja base. Done.
Okay, nice. We're gonna move on again to wait. To Wei.
Yeah, from me, adulting is hard. Okay, next.
Okay, let's now move on again to Kak Gareth.
Okay, temporary is the only constant.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to Kak Sharon.
Having more gratitude in life and making use of opportunities that are coming in my way. Next.
All right. Is Kak Reza there? I'm gonna count to 3, and if it's not, I'm gonna read his update. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Kak Reza wrote that his biggest personal growth is sleeping on a regular time. And now we're gonna move on to Kak Nadine.
Mine is one of them is socialist more in Jakarta, which I was terrified of, but turns out it's refreshing actually. Yeah, back to you, William.
All right, now moving on to Kak Wayana.
From me, as a leader, make sure that each of your team, for sure, they have the same understanding and give clear instruction and flow that they need to do based on the priority and is it in efficient way.
All right, now we're gonna move on to Kak Gray.
Thank you, William. So yeah, my personal growth is speaking to everyone, including yourself. Back to you, William.
Okay, Kak Farah is not here, right? I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so Kak Farah wrote that she is focusing on what she does best and she is continuously improving on that. And we have Kak Yoga. I believe he's not here too. 1, 2, 3. So he wrote that he is able to finally share feelings to others instead of bottling it to himself. We're gonna move on to Kak Erika. 1, 2, 3. So Kak Erika wrote that she is trying to be the best as trying my best to be a responsible person. And we're gonna move on to Kak Han.
I think consistency is the main mantra for self-development. Thank you. Next to you.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to Kak Ara.
Mine is kindness that you share is actually investment to yourself.
All right, we're gonna move on to Kak Tandy.
Okay, I think I'm bring the idea for the to the floor. And for the effective and efficient work for my team, but meaning full and for everyone and company. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're gonna move on to Kak Shelin.
Okay, so basically not reinventing the wheel. Thank you.
All right, now we have TR up next.
Right from my side is to treat people on how you want to be treated. Thank you. Back to you, William.
All right, we have Kak Fian next. Is Kak Fian there? I'm gonna count till 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Kak Fian wrote that he is trying to be more responsible with his choices and finish what he started. We're gonna move on to Kak Alia. Is she there? 1, 2, 3. So Kak Alia wrote that she did a lot of things to catch up with her university, and she learned new things on some uni representatives. Now we're gonna move on to Kak Bayu.
William, a few people have written in the comments. If they're not attending, you can just skip them, yeah?
Oh, all right.
Okay.
We're gonna move on to Kak Bayu.
Okay, so if you have a thought of an ideal situation, just do it yourself and create it yourself. Don't wait for others to do it for you.
All right, now we have Kak Nadia.
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with wanting more out of life, provided you never forget to appreciate what you already have. Thank you.
All right, now we're gonna move on to me. I am proud of myself because I have taken care of myself more because I'm up of being sick. Now we're gonna move on to Kak Fidi.
Yeah, apologies to everyone. I missed the first part of all hands. My biggest personal growth is focusing on the impact of the solution, finding the companies from different clients' perspective.
All right, now we are moving on to Kak David.
Hello, everyone. From me, I'll become more assertive and structured. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kak. Now we're gonna move on to Kak Jessica.
Thanks, William. So for me, watching horror movies without closing my eyes 90% of the time. Thanks, Christy.
Okay, now we have last but not least, Kak Cinta.
Okay, thank you, William. So for me, my biggest personal growth last week is accepting some situation and keep moving forward. And then from doing to internship, so staff, additional staff, and the educational person has fixed internet connection problem condition this month. And then the last thing is, last week I got 2 jobs for my skills that are not seriously developed, which is writing and designing to the characters. So then the rest it will bring my name. Padahal isang lupot.
So thank you, that's it, William.
Okay, and I believe that there is not gonna be any announcement for this week's All Hands. So now I would like to invite Kak Fidi for the closing statement.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and apologies once again for missing the first part of the all hands. Because we still have about 1 or 2 minutes, I'll visit back to the. I'll leave you guys with the weekly inspiration that I picked for this week, which is Lex Friedman. Lex Friedman is a scientist, a computer scientist working on AI, and he became an influencer and one of the biggest YouTuber in podcasting industry. So looking at his LinkedIn, he actually is a research scientist in MIT. He has a excellent YouTube introductory course in machine learning, and he worked on various automobile system that allow self-driving cars and all that. But if we look at his research paper, he is actually helping others to help themselves. Look at the deep traffic research that he made. His primary goal, he wrote, is to make the hands-on study of deep RL accessible to thousands of students, educators, and researchers. So he always makes his research accessible in his website. And if you look at his podcast, actually this podcast helps me a lot to understand a lot of different perspectives because he uses Socratic discussions to discuss about even sensitive things that people don't dare to touch. Recently, he actually invited Mark Zuckerberg, and he did ask Mark very difficult questions. But his way of doing discussion allows him to reach an answer without being judgmental to the guest, and also being able to extract more information because he's actually listening as opposed to just attacking. And looking at his first series in his podcast, he started as a machine learning podcaster. But then nowadays, he actually took a turn into like talking about war, for example, in Ukraine, talking about racism, about identity politics. So he keeps pushing his ZPD, zone of proximal development, to reach to expand his knowledge using what he knows in machine learning and AI, and trying to implement it in other industry that he never touched before. So this is actually a very good example of pushing out the ZPD. And then he actually has this one video explaining one life of a day in Lex Friedman's life. He actually has a very tight schedule. Looking at this, the left side of the screen, he set a social media and guitar session for like 15 to 30 minutes each day. And once the time ticks, he actually switched to another schedule that he has for the day. So he believed that having a very balanced life is actually a productive life. Being able to produce a lot of things and having a tight schedule does not stop him from sharing to others about what he knows, sharing knowledge, being open about this knowledge. And one of his tweets that has a lot of traction is complain less and build more. He's a man of action, and that is an inspiration to me. So I hope that gives you an inspiration for this week, fueling up your energy to inspire delight. And thank you very much for coming to this all hands. Have a nice week, everyone.
All right, thank you, Kak PD, for the great inspirational section. And with this, I think our all hands has ended, and I wish you all to have a great week ahead of you. Does
Okay,
anybody
have a
want
great
to
week,
add anything?
everyone. Thank you, Vinny, for coming in.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay.